Hey, what's up, guys? Thank you for joining me for a new video. Today, I'm joined by Peter, who is the founder of Zen Arbitrage. You may have heard of it. It's some pretty awesome software that helps you basically do online book arbitrage, I think mainly geared towards Amazon. But Peter, hey, thanks for being here, man.
Yeah, thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it's also like, I got to give it to you. That's the best setting I think I've ever had a guest sit in. That's not a green screen, is it?
Dude, I'm in my natural habitat, which is Starbucks. I'm at a patio right now. I'm staying with my relatives, and they have some really bad Wi-Fi, so I'm forced under these conditions.
Hey, man, I appreciate you finding time to do the interview, though. And why don't, like, right away, you just kind of hook the audience? Like, what is it that you, well, not you, I guess, but your software does?
So it was in 2014. I was running an Amazon book selling business. I was out in the trenches. I was like going to thrift stores. I was going to warehouses. I was like had my hands in the dirt, and I was reselling books. I was specifically focused on the books niche. And one day I just had this like lightning bolt moment. I was like, what if I could, instead of driving out to like, a warehouse like an hour outside of the city to like dig around in boxes for books to sell, what if I could buy a book on Amazon itself and then leverage the power of FBA to price it higher and resell that same book back on Amazon? So I'm buying the merch fulfilled copy, relisting it FBA at a higher FBA price, and profiting the difference. It was this like crazed, like delusional fantasy I had in this moment. And I was like, what if? So I bought a biology textbook for like $6. It was like $2 plus postage or something. And I turned around, shipped it into Amazon as an FBA seller, and priced it $35. And I got a sale within it was like 2 days. And I was like, everything has changed, right? Like I can run a business from a computer now. So I started to kind of scale that up, got really good at it, and then ended up building the first software for it called Zen Arbitrage, which partially automates the process. And so at first, Zen Arbitrage was something I had like a developer friend build, and I was like really secretive about it. Like, when you get like a new idea or a new source or something, you're kind of like, even though you want to like be in abundance, you're just kind of like I don't want to like tell too many people. So I was really secretive about what I was doing. And then I realized there's so much opportunity to go around. I can just share this with the world and it won't even matter. So I opened up Zen Arbitrage, my book arbitrage software, to the world in 2015. And it's just been pandemonium ever since.
Dude, I sat down with I have his name written down. I forget his name though, but he basically went through like an hour training with me and a couple other people on using it. And I have to say, like, right away, man, it is the most robust do I just say arbitrage software? Like it's by far the most kind of robust, really like kind of parallel Amazon database type software that I've ever seen, man. It's really well done.
We put a lot of work into it. I got to credit to my developers, but we put a ton of work into it. And I think that's kind of the advantage of like coming from, a lot of people, whether it's software, other tools, courses, whatever, like they don't actually come from that background. They just sort of see an opportunity, and it might work to an extent. But the fact that, I have like over a decade in the book selling game, I think really informed a lot of like kind of what you're referring to, a lot of the features and things that, you would only really come to if you really like were in the trenches for a long time. So I'm really proud of it.
Yeah, man. And by the way, it was Bill Jakeway. He was the guy. So shout out to Bill. I also want to have him
Bill
on my channel. Yeah, I want to have him on my channel too to talk about, I guess, Zen Arbitrage, but also he said he makes money with Amazon ACX, kind of like recording like audiobooks, basically audio format books. So I thought that would be an interesting story as well. But I was gonna say, man, the coolest feature that I think you guys have on that software, or at least in my experience with it, is that you can sell opportunities. You can use the software to identify opportunities, and then if you're not gonna take advantage of it yourself, you can slap a price tag on there and sell it to somebody else. So it's like arbitrage of arbitrage almost.
Yeah, so that's our arbitrage. We call it our Book Leads Marketplace. But I was at a conference. You might know of Russell Brunson and ClickFunnels and all that. Mm-hmm. So I was at a Russell Brunson conference, and he said this thing on stage. He said, think about what your customers are doing that is they're not profiting from, but someone else could. Like basically, what is the sort of the excess of the labor of your customers? And I had this light bulb moment. I was like, oh my gosh, we got all these members who are searching our database for books. They're finding profitable opportunity, but for whatever reason, they're passing on that opportunity. Like in that particular moment, maybe they're out of money for the month to spend, or it doesn't meet their standards, but it might meet someone else's standards. So they're finding these opportunities, but they're not actually pulling the trigger on them. And so I was like, oh, we could build a platform. So it's even though this has been around for years, I have a very difficult time explaining it, but essentially what it is, if you find an opportunity in our database, but you choose to not purchase it yourself, you can list it for sale in our book leads marketplace. And the book lead marketplace is a platform for people to buy and sell opportunities. They're not actually selling the books themselves, just like the ISBN, like the link to the book. So in other words, you pay $2 or something for a lead. You can see the net profit in advance. You see all the opportunity, all the data you need to make a decision, but you just don't see what the actual book is. So you check out via PayPal, you pay $2, most leads are under $5, and then it redirects you to the actual book on Amazon so you can buy the book and resell it yourself. So basically you're paying people to search our database for you. And it's by far and away our most popular feature, and it allows you basically to run a book selling business without even actually doing the hard part, which is searching. So,
dude, it's like having a VA or something do it for you that you don't have to pay the VA. You literally just pay for the finished like results. And anybody watching that's never sold an FBA product in your life, like you don't need Zen Arbitrage to do it necessarily. But I mean, if you're aiming to be profitable and you don't want to just throw a couple $1,000 at a private label product and then have to worry about selling all the inventory, it is honestly a great opportunity to make your first sale, your first few sales. You can literally grab the software, go straight to the marketplace, the opportunity marketplace, and find an opportunity that already is profitable, basically. And then you just have to execute, and the variable is how long it's going to take you to make the sale, basically. So
what I always tell people is like, you can literally make money during your free trial with an arbitrage, and not to sound like a big, whatever, but it is true. Like you could actually like get momentum very, very quickly with this business model. It's one of the big advantages of it. And like you said, you don't need Zen Arbitrage, right? Like I actually have a book called Online Book Arbitrage, and I teach the entire model without using any paid tools whatsoever. I don't even mention Zen Arbitrage in the book, and I give that book away. It's just free. It's basically just covers my printing and shipping costs. And so with that book, I teach the whole model. So yeah, you can go to Amazon directly. Forget Zen Arbitrage. Go to Amazon. You can search around. You can find opportunities. Again, all you're looking for fundamentally is books that have a big gap. And I say we can get into books later, why I choose books or not. We don't have to. But books, I think, are the best niche for this particular model. But you're finding books that have a big gap between the lowest price overall, like the merchant fulfilled price, and the lowest FBA price. And a gap such that allows you to like actually make some profit once all Amazon fees are factored in. And that's it. You can just do this right now on Amazon. You can just start clicking around. I recommend starting with textbooks. There tends to be the most opportunity with textbooks, but you can really start in any category books on Amazon and look for those opportunities.
Dude, I actually like teach college level web development courses. So I'm like 7.5 years in, and man, I know firsthand why people will pay a premium for that FBA book. I think we all have somebody in our lives, if not you, whoever's watching this, that has paid 2x or 3x for something just to get that prime check mark and have it within 24 to 48 hours. So it's one of those things that like kind of like I have trouble relating to, because I'm more or less the deal shopper who buys things in advance. But then it's like flip my brain into seller mode, and hey, there is a huge amount of people that just want their thing delivered quickly, and it makes perfect sense, especially with the book opportunity. And not that everybody's a college student that necessarily needs a textbook, but that's one of those opportunities with books that makes a lot of sense to me.
It's it's the biggest challenge, honestly, when teaching this model and just coaching people, is to get people over the disbelief stage, like the fact that it actually works, right? Because I'm like you, I'm a deal shop. There's no way I would pay $50 for a textbook I could get for $10 otherwise. No way. But it's one of the biggest things, and this is a lesson not just with business but life in general, which is like, don't get hung up on what makes sense, right? Or like what you would do, like just defer to what works, right? And so, because there's no question these opportunities, you can just go on Amazon right now and see tons of books. They're $50 FBA, $30, $20 merchant fulfilled, right? So there's no question about that. The question is, will people pay that much? And they do, right? It's like not a very satisfying answer, but like they definitely do. And once people get that first sale, it's like they're hooked, right? Yep. And yeah, so it's interesting. And by the way, I'll just mention the reason I recommend textbooks primarily is because the market forces that cause people to spend way more for FBA offers are very, very exaggerated in the textbook market. Because you think about, the syllabus comes out, and you got it, the class starts on this day, you get the syllabus this day, and you don't have 3 weeks to wait for a merchant fulfilled book. Because if you go to check out on Amazon, they'll tell you expect up to 3 weeks. And so immediately people are like, okay, I can't do that. I got to buy this free second day shipping offer, the FBA offer, because I know it's going to arrive on time. I get the free tracking. I get the guaranteed second day shipping, and people cannot take chances, especially when it comes to college, right? So that's a big driver of why this happens.
Yeah, man. And like I said, I see it firsthand every semester. So it makes a lot of sense to me. And like I'm saying, everybody that's watching too, just file this away as a way of getting started with Amazon. It's almost like you're just doing a little bit more work than your competition. Like I always on my channel preach, like if you're going to go after something really in life, but let's just talk about it in the scope of like making money online, have some edge. And in this case, it's that you're not just creating a merchant fulfilled offer and doing some arbitrage where you buy it from, source A and send it to customer B and, hope that everything works out and put a 3-week handling time. You're going in, purchasing the product, touching the physical book, then creating the FBA inbound shipment, slapping the shipping label on, which you can buy through Amazon. So it's not even that hard, and then go drop it off. Right. Did I miss anything?
No, you got it. And that's the thing. It's like people look at it, and this is one of the things, challenges I have kind of teaching this model as well. It's like people look at it as like it's some kind of trick or like a loophole, but it's not. You're actually adding value, right? When you're taking a merchant fulfilled book and you're reselling to FBA, you're adding massive amounts of value. You're guaranteeing, hassle-free returns, the free shipping I talked about, the quick shipping, all those things actually have value, right? So it's not like a gimmick or a trick or a loophole. Like you're actually adding value. And that's once people kind of realize that, all of a sudden it becomes a lot more clear why this works.
Yeah, man, I love it. And is there anything we missed as far as like, I love the software. I'm not just saying that, man. It was seriously like the most robust software I've ever seen, I think, as far as the Amazon ecosystem and kind of identifying opportunities. I've seen some kind of competitors. I know that you limit the scope to really books, but I've seen kind of like Jungle Scout, Helium 10 have some semblance of a competitor. But I mean, truthfully, I don't think it's nearly as good as what you've got going on there, because you really have to comb through a lot of erroneous products that don't fit your filters and whatnot when you comb through their database. So is there anything else you want to kind of shine a spotlight on with Zen Arbitrage while you're here?
I would just say to people watching, like, just forget Zen Arbitrage for a second. If you're not completely sold on this model, and you shouldn't be, right? Because you don't know me and you just heard about this for the first time, go get my book. It's free plus shipping. So literally, in fact, we actually lose like 8 cents per book or something, but it's $6.90. So it just covers our printing costs and our shipping costs. You go to onlinebookarbitrage.com. It's literally like free in terms of, just covering our costs. And it breaks down the entire system. I don't even mention, it's not a sales pitch, like literally don't even mention Zen Arbitrage at any point in the entire book. And it breaks down a step-by-step process where you can do this manually on Amazon starting right now with like $25. And so like I said, it's about $6.90. onlinebookarbitrage.com. That's where I always direct people first. Like, forget Zen Arbitrage, start with the book. If it sounds good, go from there.
Hey, man, I love it. And I'll, of course, drop a link to that in the description. But Peter, man, I know you're sitting outside at a Starbucks. You are traveling. You're trying to see your family. So, man, I appreciate you taking the time to be here. Anything else you'd like to say before you go?
No, Ryan, I just really appreciate it. I love your channel. Thanks so much for doing this.